So Builderall has been sold to something, to a buyer. So Erick Salgado on the 17th of December 2022 announced on his Facebook, he says, today has been the live video, the hardest I had to do because I said goodbye to Builderall, a company that I have created with nothing in the bank, with my wife and my mother. I did 4 years as a Brazilian things and 8 years as Builderall. I met wonderful people, blah blah blah. He says, Builderall has been bought by one of the largest data centers in the USA. So the new ownership is, he says that in fact there is no one who bought Builderall because it's such a large company with a lot of money, a lot of people. In fact, it's just a structure. It's not. We cannot say like Elon Musk bought Builderall. No, it's like a fund. It's like some company with many people putting money, and then there is a board of directors. You know, like who decide to buy these things or not these things. They don't care. You know, they bought Builderall like they buy a pair of socks. That's the reality. So it's not because they want Builderall. It's because they have so much money coming in and they buy many things, many companies about anything. They decide, for instance, they want building companies, so they will buy whatever is for sale in all countries as well. They are not only in the USA. So you know, really, Erick was the owner of Builderall. He sold it to this entity, and so he made some money for himself, and that's it. The company now is not his anymore. He signed a contract, so in this contract he said that he cannot compete with Builderall for so many years, and so he will not create another Builderall just right now. But Builderall is on its own. It's not to Erick anymore. So Erick is out of the picture. Erick is not the boss anymore, and so he says goodbye, and he says that of course there is a contract in Builderall. The people in Builderall must wait for orders from their new bosses, which is not Erick anymore. So for now, Builderall officially said nothing. So on the groups, I posted a message. When I saw that, I said, "Oh, Erick quit. He sold it." I was thinking that it was just some investor coming in, which was what was told to us before. It was we were meant to keep the secret, so we did. Nobody talked about it. They say that yes, they have new investors coming in, and but don't say anything because you know how people are, etc. So we didn't say anything, and suddenly Erick says, "I'm leaving," but this was never talked about before. It was investors, not buyers, and so who bought it exactly? In fact, we don't know. There is no official statement so far from Builderall, but it's one of the largest data centers in the USA. When we look in the Builderall knowledge base, what kind of servers hosting and does Builderall use? Our platform is installed on the best server in one of the largest data centers in the USA. So the same sentence. So I think he sold it to his hosting company, his data center, and one of the largest in the USA. I've looked, and one of them is called NAP of the Americas, which is the only one located in Miami, in Florida. And as you know, Builderall headquarters are in Orlando, Florida. So I guess that's the one, because this data center is specialized in the connectivity in the South America, Brazil, Colombia, etc. So I think this makes sense. For that's the one who bought it. But this one is owned by the big structure. So the big structure has many companies, and one of them is these things, this data center. You know, a little part. So that's why I say the owners, they are not like someone. It's a lot of money, a lot of companies. It's nobody. Maybe, of course, they bought maybe, so they bought Builderall maybe through this NAP of the Americas, maybe they say, okay, NAP, you can buy so much every year with our money. You buy what you want, and then we integrate it. So maybe NAP of the Americas bought Builderall because it's one of its customers who wanted to sell. So why not? And maybe now they will elect one of the workers to be the boss of this particular company, Builderall. That's how small it is. And if you want to see it in a positive light, you can say that now Builderall is part of such a big things. It's like Google bought it. Like Google bought Builderall. And whatever they will do with it, we don't know. But, so now he says that. And the rest of Builderall say nothing because they are scared. They have no right to say anything. So they must wait for the new owner to tell them what they should say. So there's no official statement. And you can see some people saying, "Oh, people should not panic. Oh la la, don't act like this. It's a good thing." But you don't know that. Nobody knows. And it's not the fault of the people if they panic, if they assume the worst, because this we know that people do that. That's why we know that communication must be controlled, and that's why before they said, "Oh, don't talk about the investors." We need to control the communication because otherwise people will panic. So we know the way, this is the way. You cannot blame the people for panicking when there is no communication. They hear from the boss, the big boss of Builderall, they hear, "Okay, I'm leaving, bye-bye." And that's it. And they turn to look at Builderall, and Builderall says nothing, like nothing happened. Myself, I posted on the Facebook group, I said, "Oh, Erick says that, we didn't know about that." What happened? They deleted my post and they gave me a warning. And they said, "We must not talk about it." So who is we? I don't work for Builderall. So I want to talk. No, my post is deleted and they put a warning on my account. So it means the next warning, I'm out, I'm banned. But I don't work for Builderall. So the one who work for Builderall, they have even stricter rules not to talk about it. Until when? We don't know. So people hear about this because Erick said it, and they want to turn to an official statement, and there is nothing. It's a silence. Okay, so they panic, of course. This is a normal reaction of people. They panic, they need a leadership. We know that. So it's not the fault of the people. That's what I wanted to say. Because after then we see Chris Cesar making a live. Builderall has been sold to another company. What does it mean for you? And so it's 3 quarters long, and he says exactly nothing because he doesn't know, or he feels he doesn't have the right to say what he knows. So really, it's yeah, let's talk about it, but I cannot say anything. Who bought it? I don't know, but you can guess. But don't guess. Wait for the official statement. And then we say, what about the affiliation? What about the prices of Builderall? What will happen really? And they say, we don't know, but I've been told that it's okay. So I feel confident about that. Okay, good for you, but other people cannot talk because they have nobody to turn to. And another person, Jackie, this is funny because Jackie de Klerk, this is the one who said, "Oh, people must not panic." Like I'm sure by now you have seen comments about the sale of Builderall. Some people panic, others make assumptions, some badmouth it. Let's chat. Is it horrifying or not? So they say, yes, people panic. Why they panic? Say why. Because we have heard about it in a disorganized way. The communication was not properly handled. That's why people panic. Otherwise, they will not panic if it was announced officially with clear reinsurance about many points. So don't blame them. Don't blame the people. If you want to blame someone, blame the company, Builderall, blame Erick Salgado, or blame the new owners. I don't know who to blame, but not the people at the end. The people, they are like ships. Ships, you don't let them wander around everywhere. You buy a dog for the ships. You buy some, some boundaries to put. You control it. If you don't control it, you cannot blame the ships for going everywhere and, being stupid. They are ships. People is the same. Crowd control. And, the image that she uses, Builderall sold, horror, oh. And this is another unofficial live that will happen. And to say what? To say, oh, I don't know who bought it. I know, but I cannot say it. But don't panic. No. Have official communication from Builderall. Do things properly for change. That would be nice. So you see this NAP, when you look at the company who owns it, and many other things, it's called Equinix. We power the world's digital leaders. Good for you. And here you have the investors' press releases of the Equinix. So we bought this, we will go there, but you don't know who it is. There is nobody. So, what does it mean for Builderall? I don't know. Nobody knows. Because it can mean good things or it can mean bad things. We don't know. There is no people, no vision for it. They bought it like they buy a pair of socks. That's it. So, in my experience, a bad experience that I had, and I remember it, a bad experience was in the 2000, I was using Macromedia Director, which was a software to do multimedia. And Macromedia had Director and Flash. You must have heard of Flash. So I was using Director, it was good. I was not using Flash so much, but on the web, the plugin of the Director software, the plugin was 2 or 3 megabytes. So it was a lot to download for people. And the plugin for Flash was very light, a few hundred kilobytes. So Flash was more often on the web. So what happens? Adobe, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe bought Macromedia. Okay. So they bought Macromedia, Director, and Flash. So at the time, we can say, oh, it's good. Adobe buys the Director, so we will be Adobe Director, and they will develop it, and it will become as famous as Photoshop. We could say that. We could be positive. But what happened? Adobe let Director die, so they didn't develop it. They let it die. They closed it a few years after they bought it. A few years, there was no more Director. Finish. You learn to use it. You made some business with it. Now it's closed. Wow. And for Flash, they developed it a little, but then they gave up on it and they let it die off over a decade. So you remember there were some warnings on browser. We do not support Flash anymore. At the end of 2020, no, it will be finished. You cannot run a Flash application on it. So it took decades of Adobe not developing Flash anymore. So in the end, they bought Macromedia, and what did it bring to me? It brings the end of my favorite software, Director. And for those who were using Flash, they just saw that it was not developed anymore and they let it die. They could have put money and improve the security so that the browser will continue to use it, just like Java. Java also has a Java plugin, and it's still there. They could have done that, but they didn't. And who do you blame? Who is Adobe? Adobe is nobody. It's just a company, a big money company. It's not a person. It's not like before. Builderall was Erick Salgado and a few of the other leaders. There were human people, a lot of webinars, a human touch to this software. Now it's gone. It's already gone. So now Builderall will be what? Owned by Equinix. What is this Equinix? Equinix owned NAP of the America who is hosting Builderall. So at least, the positive things is that Builderall will not have any more problem with the bills, paying the bills to NAP of the Americas. Because do you remember this year Builderall increased the price of 10% because they had problem with inflation. They had problem to pay the bills of the data centers, of everything. So they increased 10%. But even then they say, we should have increased 20%, but we do increase 10%. It was a big deal at the time because it has always been said that the price you pay your subscription will never change. You lock it at this price. And they had to increase all the subscription 10%. Not the new ones. The new ones they can increase. It doesn't matter. But the one who already were paying monthly, they had an increase because of the cost. So at least now there's no problem of cost. Builderall will never have a problem of cost because the entity who bought it doesn't care about the profit of Builderall. Builderall is like a grain of sand. They don't care of buying it. Buying it just to crush it doesn't matter to them. They have so much money and so much money coming in all the time. They don't rely on Builderall to make money. I don't know why they bought it. Maybe nobody knows why they bought it. Maybe they just bought it because they have to buy things, and every year NAP of the America has a budget to spend given by Equinix, and they have to spend the budget. So they buy several things, and one of them was Builderall for 2 million, 3 million, we don't know the price. They include it before the end of the year. Who knows really? Who knows why they bought it? Nobody. So what will happen to Builderall itself, to its user? Don't put, it's like if you take a new cat with an old cat, don't get too attached to it because it's gonna die. Okay, so for this now, Builderall, don't get attached to it. Maybe it will survive and thrive, maybe, or maybe it will die because it will be abandoned, like Macromedia director at the time. I was quite sad because you had some expectation. I was positive. I was young. When you are young, you believe. So I say, oh, Adobe bought it. So yeah, we are going to be number one. What a good choice. I have to learn this software because it will become the Photoshop of multimedia. No, they let it die. They don't care. Nobody cares at Adobe about director. Only those who are using it. For Builderall, the same. If they close it, maybe not immediately, maybe they just let it die. Nobody will care about it. Not NAP of the America, not Equinix. Nobody will care. Only the users, the one who were here before it has been bought and before it died. That's it. And nobody will care about what they feel. Like nobody cares. I tell my story here in this video, but nobody asks me, oh, how do you feel about the director dying? Are you okay? No, nobody ever asks me that. They let me be in pain alone, like a whole dog. Maybe it will be the same for Builderall, or maybe not. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, because some people said, "Oh, don't you think that they bought Builderall is not to develop it? But are you crazy? Would you buy something and not develop it?" Yeah, but we must not think like this. NAP of the Americas, Equinox, they are not like you and me. Me, if I buy something, I want to use it to make money, or I don't buy it. But when you are super rich, more rich, and you have other logic, maybe you buy something because for nothing, no reason, no logic. So maybe you buy because you say, okay, I will spend 100 million euros, I will buy companies. You set this target at the start of the year, and you spend it, and then you arrive in December, and you still have 15 millions left. Okay, so I need to buy, and okay, this is for sale. Okay, how much? Okay, I buy it. It can be like this. The logic of super rich people. Why they decide to buy 100 million of companies? This I don't even understand because I'm not super rich. Maybe it's for tax purposes, or maybe it's for investors. Like agreement. The people who put in money into this, maybe they expect it to buy 100 million companies or more every year, and then just keep those who are profitable for the next year. I don't know how it works. I'm not super rich, so I'm not interested now about this. But you must not apply the common people logic, like, oh, if you spend money, it's to make money. Maybe not. Maybe they spend money on many things, and they just keep those who make money, and they crush the rest, and they buy again, and they do like this, and over time it is a profitable strategy to do that, even if they lost millions every year, but overall they make money. Who knows? Not the one who replied to me on Facebook. So is it a good move or a bad move for Builderall? Who can say? Okay, we lose Erick Salgado, that's for sure. So we lose some human touch in this company. Then the communication has been handled very poorly, like badly. And for the future, I don't know. Who can say? if it's good or bad. Most probably it's gonna be bad because the one who bought it, they don't care about it. But maybe not. Who knows? You know what they can do also is to sell it again. This may be a better move. For instance, NAP of the Amacker can decide next year to sell Builderall to another company. And maybe this another company will buy more carefully. They will have less money. They will buy it in order to develop it. This is also a possibility for the future. It's not the end of the world. Who knows? Who knows? Not me, not the one who talk about it, not even the official one. When you will have official communication in the coming days, they will say things, but it doesn't mean anything. Don't believe them. They don't know, but they will pretend to know, to be in control, in order to make people not panic. This is important, to have people not panicking and be in a positive mood. So they will say good things, but without Erick. This is sad. Why let him go? Maybe he wanted to go, I don't know. He could have stayed. Who cares? You know, Equinox is so rich. They could pay him a salary just to do live webinar every week. No need to make him disappear like this, or to have a non-compete agreement. No. So that's it for this video, really. I have nothing to say, but I wanted to have my own live, my own video about it, because other people are doing it to say nothing, so I want to do the same. That's normal. Bye-bye. In fact, I have some news. In a webinar, Erick said more about it. In fact, the one who bought it is not Equinix or things like what I was saying. Is a server Prompto. Is the one who owns server Prompto, which is the data center where Builderall is hosted. So I don't know, but it's a bit different. It's less. It's not the big money things. It's another things. He has money obviously to buy a Builderall, but it's not the big one. As I was saying, you can forget all about it. So it's different. Maybe he wants to make it profitable. Maybe he wants to make something out of it. So it may be better, and the human can come back in it. It's not lost. So let's see. This is a positive news that is not so big. He has money, no problem. So money problem will not be an issue anymore. But the good thing is that he wants to do something, and it can be useful for him to have a all-in-one platform such as Builderall. So he bought it in a strategic way, not just because he has money to spend. So this is good news. To end this video in a good mood, the good news, positive. Wonderful.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, guys. So let's check the elephant from the room, right? You guys are asking about if we have sold the Builderall, what's going to change, what's going to be, what's going to happen, and blah, blah, blah. Well, I guess less than 1 month ago, I had a meeting with affiliates and ambassadors, I guess, saying that we had a company interest in buying Builderall, and we had a lot of meetings. We talk a lot. And when I saw that they were trying to buy the company, change a few things, make the company profitable, and then sell the company again because they already did it, they already had it, another buyer, a big fund and stuff like that, I decided not to sell because I didn't want the company to change and all those things. Now, listen, we never tried, we never went out to find someone to buy Builderall. It was something that came to us, right? And when I decided not to sell to this other company, a lot of people inside the team and a lot of people with the financials were talking about selling Builderall, what's going to be, blah, 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 all those things. And then what happened was the guy who owns the data center where Builderall is inside like forever, since the first day, he came to me and said, Erick, are you selling Builderall? And I said, yeah, man, I'm talking about selling Builderall and all those things. And he said, wait, don't sell Builderall. I want to buy Builderall. This is a business that I watched it grow from the first customer. I saw what you guys have done. I saw you guys selling like 1,000, almost 2,000 servers for WordPress. I never saw anything like that before. I want to buy this company. I want to be the one joining Builderall and taking to the next level. And then we started having some meetings. Julio, you guys know Julio. Everybody knows Julio. Julio is the mailing boss guy. He actually is the one who is putting together all these negotiations and all those things, because now he's gonna have some ownership of the company as well. And then we start talking about selling Builderall to the data center. The name is Cloud Builder. I don't know if the Cloud Builder is the one who owns Server Pronto or Server Pronto is the one who owns Cloud Builder. I guess Cloud Builder owns the whole thing, right? This data center, Server Pronto, I always talk to you guys about that. It's one of the biggest data centers in the United States. It's huge. This guy has like a $1 billion business. This data center is $1 billion business. It's amazing what he has over there, and he's younger than me, and he built the whole thing by himself. So he's super smart. He's a real businessman. He's American, and he has a lot of good network, and he knows how to do business, right? And then we have the synergy with the data center and Builderall. That, for me, that was the perfect scenario. And actually, when we start talking, the idea was just to bring this guy as an investor, right? So we had the best scenario. Because the guy who owns the data center, who owns the machine, who owns everything about infrastructure, would also own Builderall. And then when we have any kind of problem, like, hey, mailing boss is going slow, we need more servers. Hey, Cheetah is loading slow, we need more servers, or we need more machines for the office, we need more machines for video, and all those things that we are actually, it is very expensive for us right now. We are paying a lot of money for hosting. Now this guy has everything on his hands, and he doesn't even have to put any money because he has the machines, he has everything, right? For him, hey Chris, we need another server for mailing boss. Okay, boom, 5 minutes, we have another server for mailing boss. And he has people working on that thing for 24 hours a day. He was always a good partner. He was always helping us with a lot of things. We had a lot of meetings and everything. And the infrastructure that he has for Builderall is already super special. And now, once he owns Builderall, I think that's going to be unbeatable. That was the thing that actually motivated me to do this deal. Builderall, building the tools that we are building, and you guys have to see the 6.0. No matter what, 6.0 is mine. I was the one who drew the whole thing, so my idea. You guys will have the whole thing with Builderall 6.0 with the infrastructure that we're going to have now. It's going to be unbeatable. We can say that Builderall is the digital marketing platform with the biggest and most reliable, strong infrastructure in the on the planet, because all the other customers, they are paying for Amazon, for Google Cloud, for all those things, and sometimes you have some limits, sometimes you have some DDoS attacks, and then you're going to have to pay a lot, and then you're going to lose service and all those things. Now we're going to own the whole thing, or the whole thing is going to own us. So it's a perfect synergy, right? The data center owning Builderall. We will never more have a problem with infrastructure. Now, the main problem with the whole deal was affiliates, customers, pricing, and employees. Now, someone who is buying the company, someone strange who is buying the company trying to get some profit and whatever. Now, this guy, Chris, he was the one who was with us since the first day that we launched Builderall. It was already on Server Pronto. He is part of our history. He is part of the company. He is our partner already. And he saw everything that we did. And he has extreme respect of everything that we did. So the idea is to change nothing. He's not going to fire any employee because he's not crazy. It is hard to find good people, super hard to find good people, super hard to find someone who actually understands Builderall, right? So there is no reason to fire any of the employees. And he told me that he's not going to change anything. He's not going to change anything about the European company, because the other guys, they were ready to shut down the European company and charge everybody from the United States. They would be shutting down the European company, shutting down the Brazilian company, and charge everybody from USA because taxes and all those things, because it's way more complicated when you have companies in other countries. He's not going to touch the European company, Brazilian company. We're still going to be charging people in Europe. We're still going to be charging people in the United States. He's not going to mess with the price. Now, listen. When we launch Builderall 6.0 with all the automation tools, we're going to have some price increase. But it's the same thing with me and with Chris. We're going to give you more tools. We're going to give you more infrastructure. We're going to give you some stuff that's going to cost us money when you use. So Eric, I would increase the price a little bit. He's going to increase the price a little bit when we launch Builderall 6.0, just because it's going to be more expensive for us, right? So it's not because we are changing. It's because it is what it is. But it's not going to be something, wow, crazy. It's going to be just like it always was. Every time that we launched a new version of the software, we increase it a little bit. You guys remember that, right? We just do an update of the price. So it's going to be the same. He told me that he's not going to change anything about commissions, about the affiliate system. He knows that the heart of Builderall is the affiliate, the community, people working, selling, promoting, creating agencies and everything. So nothing is going to change. The only thing that is actually going to change in the company is me. I am actually the only employee who is going out. Nobody else is going to go out. Alvaro is going to be working there. My mother in Brazil is going to keep working. Like everybody here is going to be working. We have some deals with Waziri, with Salvatore, with Monica, Katrina, with Sergio, with all those guys here about other countries. We're going to keep the same deals, the same everything that we have now is going to be the same because it's working. Builderall is working. Builderall is a profitable company. We are going through bad times because of the war, because of the changing on digital marketing, because of the recession, because of a lot of stuff. We are going through hard times, but we are still profitable. It's a good company, right? And then when you see somebody buying a company with millions and millions of dollars, this guy doesn't want to change. He's not like Elon Musk. That's not a personal thing. He's not going to change the whole thing. He's actually buying something it's working. He doesn't want to change anything because he already has a huge company and he already has a lot of things to do, like a lot of things to think. He doesn't want to change anything. All he wants to do is he wants to make better, right? And the reason that I'm leaving is because I am the CEO. If you are buying a company, you are buying the whole thing, and you want to be the one who's going to give the new directions, especially because when I sold the company, I told him Builderall could be way better than it is now because I believe we could have a better CEO. I know I am doing a great job in Brazil. I know I am doing a great job behind the scenes, but I know I'm not doing a good job like for the community in being the face of Builderall. I know we can have someone better than me. And you guys know for many times we tried to bring someone to be the face of Builderall, to be the guy who actually is going to send the message, do the webinars, and it was always bad, right? So we were looking for a better CEO. And I think now we found a better owner because Chris, he has all the means to actually invest in the company and pay for things that we need and everything. He has way more money than I. And he's actually hiring a professional guy to be the CEO. So it's not going to be Chris. Chris is the owner. The CEO will be Pedro Sorti. Pedro is a huge player. He participated in a lot of startups. He worked with the biggest online companies. He has a huge background. He's a professional CEO. He knows how to do this stuff. So Pedro is the right guy to be the CEO of the company. Now, talking with Pedro, talking with Chris, and talking with Julio, talking with Ale actually is going to keep working on Builderall. Everybody's going to be. The only guys who's going to leave, it's Eric and Mauricio. Mauricio is the guy who takes care of the money. So it doesn't make sense to have Mauricio there because Chris is going to take care of the money. And Eric was the CEO. Doesn't make sense again. So Pedro is going to be the CEO, right? So talking with those guys, they guaranteed, Eric, relax, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change with the affiliates, with the commissions, with the prices, with the deals you have in Brazil, in Europe, everything's going to be the same. We are not going to get something that's working and work with people, work with businesses and all those things and taking the risk to lose customers right on the first month and then see what we did wrong. So they are not going to change anything. The plan is they're going to start like taking care of Builderall like yesterday. They're going to run the company for 1, 2, 3 months. And then on the next 3 months, they will see everything they can make better. That's the only thing that they are going to do. Okay, we can make better the communications. We can make better the social media. We can make better the affiliate funnels. We can make better the investment on Europe. We can make better the tutorials. They will feel like what they can make better, right? And then they will have the means, the money, the tools, and everything, even infrastructure to make better. the guy is buying Builderall for a lot of money. Nobody's taking the risk to buy something for a lot of money and mess it up and lose all the money. The idea is to buy Builderall, to put some money inside Builderall, to like make more money, to grow the company, to have more affiliates, to have more customers, more better reputation and everything, and then taking this company to the next few years. Now listen, he's not the guy who is going to work with Builderall, increase the value and sell Builderall. I'm not saying that's going to be impossible, but I'm saying this is not the guy. He owns Server Pronto for 18 years, something like that, right? He already had offers to sell Server Pronto for $500 million and a lot of money, and he never did. So he's the guy who is actually building something solid, like I don't know if he's going to give to his kids or whatever it is, but this guy is the guy who is actually building something, and he want to take this thing to the next level, to the next years, and he's the guy who is building and building and building and building and building and building. So that's the reason that I feel very comfortable in selling Builderall to this guy, because in the end of the day, I am the founder. I always going to be the founder. And if Builderall becomes a multi-million-dollar company, I always will be the founder. I'm proud of what we did. And that's it, guys. Now, about me. Listen, the company is bigger than I do. And the company is my first priority. Now, you guys know I was looking for a better CEO, an investor, someone who can actually take Builderall to the next level. I found it, but the deal was, if I have to keep on the company, like it doesn't make much sense for this guy to invest. So he decided, okay, I want to have the whole thing. I want to buy the whole thing. I want to buy all the partners out. I want to have 100% of this thing. And then I'm going to put money. I'm going to scale. I'm going to take to the next level. And so let's make that happen. And then I am still working together with Chris. I'm still working together with Pedro. I'm helping those guys to understand the whole thing. But I am out of Builderall. Now, those guys, they own Builderall. They will take Builderall to the next level. And the most important thing, guys, by the posts and the comments and everything, what I saw was, I'm afraid that they are going to charge more. They're going to mess it up with the affiliate commissions. They're going to change the plans. They're going to change stuff. And listen, they will not. They will run the company for 3 months. And then on the next 3 months, they will see what they can make better, right? So for example, I know we have a lot of potential in Europe, but Erick, this guy, I doesn't have the money that I need to invest to explode this business in Europe, right? He has. So he's the one who's going to be able to do that. Same thing in Brazil, same thing in the United States. So 3 months, in the next 3 months, he will identify what he can make better, and then he's going to invest money, time, people, and everything that he needs to make better. Simple like that. I need you guys to understand like the obvious. Nobody is going to spend money to buy a company to run this company out of the business. People are going to spend money in a company that he can see, well, this thing has potential. If those guys are making like $1 million a month now, they have potential to make $2 million next year. I don't know. But what they need more customers. How are we going to find more customers? We're going to have to increase infrastructure. We're going to have to increase marketing and the team, the programmers, and blah, blah, blah. And then he's going to go after this thing. Simple like that, guys. All right. Now, listen, I could not even be here talking about that because it is on my contract. So I have to be very discreet about a lot of things. But if you guys have any questions or anything that I can answer and make you guys confident that what we did was the best thing for the company, ask me. Okay. It was a good thing for me. Yes, it was a good thing for me because I'm working with Builderall for more than 10 years. I'm tired. I'm working on this thing 24 hours a day. I live and breathe Builderall, and then I'm tired. And then I had an opportunity to give the business to someone who's going to do better than I, and I could make some money on the deal. So I took the opportunity. I came back to Brazil, as I told you guys last month. I came back to Brazil. I'm going to stay a few months or years in Brazil. I'm going to stay close to my father, my mother, my in-laws, as I still have the opportunity. And then after 1 or 2 years in Brazil, I will figure out what I'm going to do. Maybe come back to the United States, maybe stay here. I don't know. But you guys know that I'm tired. And you guys know that I'm not being so present anymore as I used to be because I'm tired. And then new blood, new energy, new people on the company will always be better. So I'm very confident that this deal will be good for everyone. All right? Okay, people, tell me questions if you have any.
Basically, it's all clear, I think, Eric. It's all better for us. So changes, they are scaring people. So yeah, it's very good you're here to clear things up and get eliminated all the buzz which is around this deal. So yeah, it's all clear, and we are excited to go forward.
I'm telling you guys, it's a little bit hard for me because, you know, in the end of the day, I make some money with this deal. I'm ready to start a new business, a new thing on my life. I'm ready to start something here in Brazil, close to my parents and blah, 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 all those things. But in the end of the day, it's hard to leave Builderall. It's hard to see like they're going to launch 6.0 and I'm not going to be there. They're going to launch the automation tool and I'm not going to be there. It's hard to see that this thing's going to explode without me. But in the end of the day, that's the only way that we have right now to see Builderall explode. Better ownership, better CEOs, more money, better infrastructure, and the affiliates that we have, the ambassadors that we have, the users that we have, you guys are only going to benefit from this thing. All right? All right, people. So don't panic. All good. Everything will be the same, right? If you have to think about something, you start thinking like everything will be the same. We're not going to change anything. We're going to run the company for the next 3 months and see what we can make better. All right? Okay, all good? All right, guys, I hate to say that. It's crazy, but I got to go because Pedro is calling me in another meeting. And this week is very, very crucial for them because they have to put everything together. So I guess I will see you guys in the community. I'm still going to be around. I will participate on this whole transition thing. I still will be able to do some videos, answer some questions, help you guys with some things. But so far, right now, I can't take any more decisions about the company. I don't decide anything else. Like, I'm done, right? But I will be with you guys in the community. I will be using Builderall for my business here. So I'm going to be around, okay? Guys, thank you very much. Like Shelly, you were the best thing that happened on Builderall ever. Wazili, man, you are a business partner that, like, I'm proud to say I am your partner, or I was your partner. You are an amazing guy with great character. So love you, man. Sergio, you are doing an amazing job with the Spanish community. I'm proud of you. Thank you very much for everything you've done. Salvatore, man, I don't even have to say anything because Italy is a very small country with a huge population inside the Builderall. It's all about you, my friend. So you are the best, right? Monica and Katrina, like you got like the train was already going and you step up on the middle of the road, but you are doing an amazing job, both of you. Like, thank you very much. Katrina was already like a superstar, but now she's a superstar with a lot more responsibilities. And Alex, man, I'm telling you, if everyone on the Builderall team was like you, we were already bigger than ClickFunnels 10 times. You are an amazing guy. It was a privilege to work with you. All right? All right, guys, let me go before I start crying. And I see you guys around the next, I don't know, weeks, days, and everything. All right? Thank you. Bye, everybody. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.